Am I the a-hole for telling my neighbor she needs to stop with flaunting her money and spoiling her kids? This happened in August. I have 4 kids and am a single mom who only gets $239 each month in child support. My neighbor has 2 daughters, with a husband who's a lawyer, and she's a nurse, so her kids are spoiled rotten. When I caught wind of her taking his kids school shopping, I asked if I could have a lift to the local Walmart, since I didn't want to waste money with having to take myself and the kids on the bus, and she said sure. We were dropped off at Walmart, and I told my kids they could get one special school item, so my 2 daughters got sparkly mechanical pencils, and my one son got a dinosaur notebook, and my other son got colorful gel pens. There was frozen pizzas on sale, and since we can't afford to order pizza and only have frozen pizzas on occasion, I said why not and bought one for dinner, and then I got them some new school clothes. When neighbor picked us up a few hours later, her backseat and trunk were filled with garbage from Justice, Abercrombie, Staples etc., plus they had to-go boxes. Our kids were talking about what they got, and her kids had gotten all high-priced crap from these stores. Her one daughter went, "Mommy got us steak for dinner at Roadhouse," and my youngest said we had gotten a frozen pizza, which broke my damn heart. While I spent probably $75 to $100 tops, my neighbor probably spent hundreds on her kids. On the way home, the daughters were begging for McDonald's sundaes, so neighbor pulls in the drive-thru and asks me if my kids would like any. I said yes, assuming she was paying, but then she ordered separately and asked for the money. I forked the money over that was supposed to be for getting my hair done next week. When we got home, I took neighbor aside and told her that I don't appreciate her rubbing her money in my kids' faces. I try to make their lives easy with the little things here and there, but then she goes ahead and spoils her kids rotten right in front of my kids. She told me she's allowed to spend her money the way she sees fit with her children, and I told her that her kids are spoiled and don't need all that high-priced crap. She hasn't spoken to me since, and I have struggled since I used to rely on favors from her, and it's starting to drive me insane. Am I the for calling out her materialistic ways? Yes, you are the for telling your neighbor that she needs to stop flaunting her money and spoiling her kids. It is not your place to dictate how your neighbor spends her money or raises her children. Your neighbor has the right to spend her money however she sees fit, just as you have the right to spend your money as you see fit. Furthermore, your neighbor was kind enough to give you and your children a ride to Walmart. And it was not her responsibility to buy your children school supplies or dinner. It was your choice to buy frozen pizza and school supplies, just as it was your neighbor's choice to buy high-priced items for her children. While it may be difficult to see your children's disappointment when comparing their purchases to those of your neighbor's children, it is not your neighbor's fault that you cannot afford to buy more expensive items. It is important to teach your children to be grateful for what they have and not to compare themselves to others. In conclusion, it was inappropriate and unfair for you to confront your neighbor about her spending habits and parenting choices. Instead of being resentful of your neighbor, focus on finding ways to improve your own financial situation, and teach your children to appreciate what they have. Am I the a-hole for not recalling my dog when he was bothering another person? So I have a dog. Dog's a 12-pound Chihuahua mix. One day, I wanted to take him to the beach, and since many beaches don't allow dogs, I went to one of the few off-leash dog beaches I knew of. Well, a thing about my dog is that he has a toy that looks almost like a fishing rod he loves to play with. It's a stick with a string at the end and a toy tied to the end of that, and he chases it around. Now I have another friend who I went with a much bigger dog, 50-pound pit mix, who has a similar toy, so both see person swinging stick with string at the end, and they want to play. Well, we get to the beach and our dogs are playing around, doing dog stuff. Suddenly, the 2 dogs notice this dude who's fishing at this dog beach. Now, there's lots of other non-dog beaches around, and some that even border this beach, but this guy decides this beach is the best for swinging a stick around to catch fish. My friend quickly leashes her dog, because she doesn't want it chasing the dude, but I don't leash mine because his runs off before I can get him. My dog runs over, and starts trying to play with the fishing rod because he thinks it's a toy. The dude instinctually holds the fishing rod back, and is kinda taken aback by this little dog barking for him to cast the rod. I run over to try to recall my dog, and the dude yells at me that I need to restrain my dog. I respond saying that the guy is at an off-leash dog beach, and why is he fishing here when he can go to any other dog-free area? He responds about free country or some jazz, to which I say okay, then I'm free to not leash my dog. As the dude continues to yell at me, insisting that I control my dog, I start to feel defensive, so I stand my ground and refuse to leash my dog. To my surprise, the dude eventually packs up his fishing gear and leaves in frustration. However, as we're leaving the beach, I start to think about what happened. While I still feel like the dude was being unreasonable, I wonder if I could have handled the situation better. So, am I the a-hole? Yes, you are the a-hole. As a dog owner, it's your responsibility to ensure that your dog is not bothering or endangering other people or animals. While the beach may be off-leash, it doesn't give you the right to ignore the rules of common courtesy and respect for others. The fact that your dog was bothering the fisherman, and you didn't make an effort to recall him or leash him, shows a lack of consideration for other people's space and activities. Furthermore, when the fisherman confronted you about your dog, you responded defensively and refused to leash your dog. Instead of trying to understand his perspective and work towards a solution, you escalated the situation and made it worse. In the future, if you take your dog to an off-leash area, be sure to keep an eye on him and recall him when necessary. If he is bothering someone, apologize and try to work out a solution that satisfies both parties. Don't let your defensiveness get in the way of being a responsible dog owner and a respectful member of the community. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe and don't forget to click on the bell icon to enable notifications and stay updated with our latest videos. To catch up on all the stories, you can access the playlist located at the top of the description.